Good morning, everyone. This is James Fifelski, criminal defense attorney and attorney coach. Something struck me yesterday when I was out driving with my wife. It was Sunday, it was Easter, it was a quiet day on the roads. In fact, I had never seen such sparse traffic out on the roads. We basically, after being cooped up most of the day, decided we needed to get out, and the best way to do that during the coronavirus stay-home order is to go for a Sunday drive. What's better than a Sunday drive to get out in a way that we can easily have social distancing, because it's just the two of us in a car driving around town trying to enjoy the afternoon. I was struck by how few people were out driving. There could be a lot of reasons for that. One could be it's Easter. Maybe people are staying at home, gathering to celebrate Easter together with their family. Maybe it's because so many stores are shut down due to the stay-home order that a majority of states throughout our country have right now in effect. And maybe it's because people are afraid to drive based on these stay-at-home orders. Our governor in Michigan has been very severe about how she intends to enforce, through prosecution and arrest, the stay-home orders that she has issued. But there's one vital thing that she seems to be forgetting that you must realize, and I want you to remember this because it is of vital importance. In a society where our leaders should not rule out of fear or out of the threat of force or arrest, they should rule by reason and by common sense. But unfortunately, I think this pandemic is bringing out the worst in people, and when people are in power, decide to use that authority that they have to create a fear-based system of governing, then we're on a slippery slope to a bad place. So here's the key fundamental rule that you should remember about driving. It is not illegal to drive your car around town. I think so many people I've talked to believe that the stay-home order means they cannot even step foot in their car and drive around for a random reason or no reason at all. The reality is that the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment specifically, prohibits unlawful search and seizures. What that means in the law, and usually in the criminal law context, is that police cannot arbitrarily pull you over for driving if you're driving within the traffic laws, if you're driving carefully, and if you're not endangering anyone. Police cannot randomly stop your vehicle. They cannot pull you over to check on whether you're complying with the stay-home order or not. They have no right to stop you unless there is a valid reason to do so, and that means there must be some indication of criminal activity, or at least of traffic violation, before a police officer can stop you. That rule applies to all government officials. And in most states, I'll speak for Michigan, but under the federal Constitution, as applied in most states, the constitutional right to be left alone, to your own privacy, to drive wherever you want to, where it is legal, where it's public roadway, public property, cannot be infringed upon by any government leaders, no matter how well-meaning they are. The right to travel is also a key constitutional right. Some states are actually enforcing border crossing prohibitions. They are not letting people come in from one state to their state under these stay-home orders. And I have seen there's already lawsuits being filed because that kind of order, if it is enforced, is unconstitutional in my opinion, and I think in the opinions of the courts based on precedent that we've had over the centuries. So if you are afraid to drive, I want you to take peace, have peace of mind that it is not illegal to drive. If you need to get out of your home to just get some fresh air, it is not illegal to drive, and a police officer cannot randomly stop you to check on whether you are going to a valid, essential place of business or not. You have the right to drive around. As long as you're doing so safely and within the traffic laws, police cannot stop you. We have to guard against tyranny from a government that means well and wants to do the best to end this pandemic. And trust me, I am not advocating that we should flaunt our rights, even our constitutional rights, and therefore possibly prolong the pandemic. All I'm saying is, you and I have these fundamental constitutional rights that our founding fathers set in place to protect against government tyranny in order to keep our society free, to keep it based on reason and common sense, and to protect liberty and justice for all, not just those people who are in power. We are the people who should self-govern. We elect our elected officials to govern, we entrust them to take care of the common good. And part of that requires that we as individuals protect our individual rights, and one of those key rights is the constitutional right to be left alone, the right to privacy, to be free from unreasonable, unlawful search and seizures, and that includes driving your own vehicle.